The Big 12 College Basketball Opening Lines Preview and Picks Edition for Saturday, February the 10th on the Sports Gameday Podcast Network is brought to you by Cut. Cut is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's U.S.-based and available in 40 states. Head over to cut.com, that's KUTT.com, promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus today. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, a sports betting research platform for parlays, props, game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. And don't forget, this Sunday's the goddamn Super Bowl. So get over there to Super Bowl 58 props contest. Pick 58 Super Bowl props for a chance to win $1,000. Enter today free at the sportsgamblingpodcast.com/SB58 or in the SGPN app. And welcome, everybody, to the Big 12 College Experience, part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Friday, February the 9th, which means we're diving into these Saturday openers. Let's beat some line movements again. It's been very good to us. We've stolen at least one game per Saturday by getting the opening number. But if you're wondering who you're listening to, I am Moneyline Mac, a.k.a. the former video coordinator for Bob Huggins and Frank Martin. And joining me, you guys know him. He's a walking contradiction. You guys know him. He was born in Provo, Utah. He's got family in Ames, Iowa. He lives in Morgantown, West Virginia. He is Rambling Rush, co-host of the Ryan and Rush Show. Rush, another week, another location for you here. I see we got the beautiful Coliseum in the background. What's up, brother?
Yep, I'm at the top of the Coliseum right now. Everyone know, but on the road this week, fascinating week that was in the Big 12. Obviously, we had 4 teams that were on bye, so we just had Monday, Tuesday nights. Great Kansas State upset in overtime against Kansas. Both my double dogs hit, but both my double locks didn't. But when you're talking gambling and money, you'd rather have it that way than the other way, more profitable that way. So, hey, still doing pretty good record-wise. You're making money if you're choosing my picks. So excited about the Saturday slate, especially with BYU having a 10 o'clock game, as they should every time they are in Provo.
Absolutely. Well spaced out Big 12. Well done. My only complaint, there should be a Big 12 game tonight. There's 3 fucking college basketball games. There's 350 goddamn fucking teams in this country, and we have 3 games. I will say at least the 3 games are good. Dayton and VCU game I'm going to here. I'll head to the Siegel Center here in about an hour. That's a really good game. Nevada, San Diego State's a good game. And then Colorado State, San Jose State. It's a Mountain West. But come on, all these little leagues. Get your product on the fucking national stage. Get on ESPN Plus. Get on CBS Sports. When I run this shit one day, this product's going to win big, bigger, and bigger. And that's all I got to say about that. I like to win. So let's go. Third man in the box. You guys know him as a 6-time Zin champion. You also know him as the Meat Smoker. So he's got a new name each and every week. He's also the Big 12 guru. He's always fighting a family civil war, whether it's in Stillwater, in Norman. They play tomorrow. Bedlam on the hardwood. He is at Troy Chewning. What's up, my man?
What's going on? I don't know if you saw that. Our boy Brian is going to come by and say hi to you, Max. So that'll be cool.
Yeah, B. Sanders will be there. I'll hit you up, B. Sanders.
It should be a pretty good game actually that you're going to. But yeah, at least we get another full slate here in the Big 12 instead of just sitting around and not doing anything. Although it is kind of weird that the only underdog game that I was looking at was the night game between Kansas State and BYU, and none of the other underdog plays have been posted yet. So I wonder if they're upset that we've gone 3 of our last 4 on the underdogs. We're just taking their money away from them. Everybody's just tailing the bets and raking in the cash.
Yeah, make it make sense. Why is it the only game? I'm with you, Troy. But All right, like we do every single week. Where's our one guy? I forget his name. We are not picking the games yet. We are recapping the week in the Big 12.
Come on, get to the picks.
Get to the picks already. You sound like a fucking kid in a fucking candy store that's happy to get a fucking bag of fucking Skittles. Relax, everybody. In the Big 12 this week, we got to go all the way back to Monday night, a game that we were all on. Kansas State Wildcats get it done in the Sunflower Showdown. Epic game. All they do, Tang Gang, is win overtime games. We ate shit with the Pussy Horns. It's horns down. They fucking lose to Iowa State outright in a game they trailed the entire time. Boomer Sooner got us over the finish line, beating the BYU Cougs at home. Of course, this game pushed. Texas Tech Baylor, we said the line kind of stunk. To be honest, Baylor probably should have covered. They were up 15 with about 3.5 minutes, and they let that game get close at the end. Scott Drew did not get tossed this time around. And then a guy that did get tossed was Kelvin Sampson, who decided, fuck this game. I'm gonna storm out on the fucking court. Absolutely fantastic. But he does bring attention to a big time fucking issue. And that's the refereeing in this fucking league. This is the best league in America. But the fucking officiating this year has been a fucking joke, and it's been atrocious. Scott Drew, the nicest guy in the world, got fucking tossed. Now Kelvin Sampson. I mean, Kelvin Sampson deserved to get tossed. He literally took himself out of the game. He went out there with his racism shirt on, and he just stormed it. I said, holy shit, Kelvin ain't fucking around right now. He looked like a fan because he had the T-shirt on and not a coaching attire. But, Rush, what's your take, man? Agree, disagree? I know you've been a critic of the officiating. It's been a fucking joke.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not just the Big 12. It's all across the sport of basketball, whether it's NBA or college. It's the most. I mean, it's the type of officiating that's manipulated the most. I mean, we've seen it with going to the NBA with Donaghy, and Scott Foster was part of that. Yet they still continue to let him ref. Anytime a series needs to be extended, you call in the extender. And I know the NBA is a little more egregious with it, but. Dude, we've seen it time after time. I mean, you've been behind the bench, Ryan, where these refs either feel like, hey, for some reason I'm not getting enough attention right now. This needs to be about me, this 5'8" guy instead of this 6'10" guy here. And they're, the crowd. There's a reason why probably basketball home court is the biggest home court or home advantage in sports. They're easily manipulated by the crowd. Saying anything, but with how I guess too, we have a gambling show, but with how prevalent gambling is, it sometimes makes you wonder, right? It's sometimes, and I'm not saying it's an outright Vegas is calling the refs in the game, hey, call it this way, call that way, but maybe they know where the big money is on certain plays, and if hey, that kind of looked more like a charge than a block, and it just makes you wonder sometimes. That's all.
Troy, thoughts?
The foul that Kelvin Sampson was bitching about that didn't get called was one of the most obvious foul calls that you'll ever see. The guy forearm shivers the guy right in the back of his fucking neck and knocks him 2 steps forward. Yeah, he went way out with it. Oh, man. But the best part was Kelvin Sampson goes up to the first ref and gets right in his face. And he's like, no, go fuck yourself. And the other ref comes walking over settle down, Kelvin, settle down. And he turns and he goes, no, don't give me that bullshit. You go fuck yourself too. And then he looks at the third guy and he's like, and you suck too. It was awesome. It was like the half-baked when the Hispanic guy is working in the burger shop and half-baked and he does the fuck you,
yeah,
cool. Fuck you, I'm out of here.
Well, his whole point was, and this really fucked us because we all had Houston minus 20. Houston kind of went through the motions on the stretch. The referees were going through the motion. They saw Houston went up 20, and Kelvin's whole point was, dude, stop reffing the score. If they're gonna foul the shit out of us, fucking call the foul. And they had missed an obvious one, so it would stem from that one. And then the one where the Oklahoma State big just fucking extends the shit out of him and pushes him right in the back to get a lob over the top. It was that set Kelvin over the top. I love it. Reminded me of the Hugs days, man. Just seeing fucking Kelvin fucking storm out there. It reminded me of him at the PHOG going after all 3 officials. Like you said, you suck, you fucking suck, you fucking suck. Bill, good game. You're cool, but you fucking three motherfuckers, you guys all suck. So Kelvin said that to Mike Boyd. He gave him the wave, and then he went back. So shout out to Kelvin Sampson. I love Kelvin
Well,
Sampson.
what makes you going back to my point, Ryan and Troy, is it got to that -20 spread, and then things started kind of happening.
Yeah. It sucked. I felt like we were on the right side. They were up fucking 25 the entire game, and then they fucking just folded.
That's almost a move from Kelvin Sampson. Like, the game, you're not going to lose the game, so you have nothing to lose by doing it. But it's almost like, the Houston Boosters we didn't really pick them to cover this 20, man. Go out there and get thrown from the game and make it look like, when you don't cover, it looks like it's kind of the onus is on the referees instead of the whole like, oh, well, what if we gave them 5 extra points and didn't cover this game?
I know. You make good points, Troy. Shout out to Chad G's back in here. Always love Huggy Bear, baby. Huggy Bear's the man.
Chad G just said he had to leave his meeting with the CFO and the CEO, but they understand because they tail his picks. So
yeah, we know who Chad.
You got to make sure the CEO and the CFO aren't on West Virginia to cover this 12 and a half or 12, whatever you're looking at.
Don't even think about it, Chad. You're on Texas tomorrow, motherfucker. All right, I'll tell you, if you want to bet on West Virginia and Texas and all the other games, don't worry, everybody. We're getting to the picks. Do so over at DraftKings, because if you're looking for a Super Bowl offer for Super Bowl 58, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered. New customers can bet on the big game, turn 5 into 200 instantly in bonus bets. You can bet on everything. You can bet on the spread, the money line winner, the over-under, the Swifties. If they get engaged after a game, you fucking take your pick. And, of course, DraftKings is absolute best. And if you got a gambling problem, well, listen to Lenny Dykstra.
This is Lenny Dykstra here, Nails, former world champion with the New York Mets and World Series with the Philadelphia Phillies. If you got a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-COPE-NEW YORK or text COPE New York, which is 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/football for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources. Thank you. Hey, this is Lenny Dykstra.
Thanks, Lenny.
Excellent. All right, I was on mute. And we're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play alongside your favorite fantasy players all season long. NFL, NBA, NHL, college hoops, college football. Pick higher, lower on your favorite fantasy stats and cash in. You can win 100 times with some spicy plays. Troy, you've been killing it over at the Underdog front. What you got cooking up here, man?
Trying to go for 3 in a row and 4 out of the last 5 here. Like I said earlier, there was only one Big 12 game listed before about an hour or 30 minutes before we started the show. So I'm going with a couple of, well, one of them is a Big 12 play. I'm going with Tyler Perry here against BYU. I think he'll go higher than his 14.5 points. A little bit more athletic than the white guys. Maybe he gets a couple of easy layups and, pumps that point total up. And then we're going with Ryan Nembhard in the Gonzaga game, higher than 13.5 points. He's kind of been their only offense, so they're really leaning on him to do a bunch. Hopefully we get, third one in a row. Then Underdog won't put out any college basketball props for us to pick from next week. So
we're beating them down, baby. I love Underdog Fantasy. And when you sign up with the promo code TCESGPN right there on youtube.com/college experience, Underdog will double your first deposit up to $100. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code TCESGPN. All righty, we're back and we're talking games, baby. Yeah. Let's talk some games.
Shout out, Brian. Did you do both of them? Did you do the early of the week one too? When I said to go for the both rebound totals, the both rebound total was the risky play. We got almost the 4 times spicy.
Spicy, 100 times the payout, baby. Underdog Fantasy. Shout out to the chat. You guys are alive and well on a Friday. You can tell it's happy hour. You can tell the fucking work week is winding down.
Yeah, the show's officially started with TV DBJ here.
Yep, let's go, baby. Trevor, you didn't miss much. It was only 3 games to preview. So let's go to Ames, Iowa, gentlemen. We got the TCU Horned Frogs taking on the Iowa State Cyclones. They just played a couple weeks ago. Iowa State was able to go to Fort Worth, get the win. Looking at the standings right now, Iowa State sitting a half game back of the Houston Cougars. TCU is sitting at 5-4, 1 game back. So I think the line was 3.5 or 4.5 in TCU's favor when they played a couple weeks ago. And obviously Iowa State won the game outright. TJ Otzelberger 3-0 over his last he is not the last time he lost to TCU was his first year in the first game that they played against him. So he's won 4 in a row now against the TCU Horned Frogs. We mentioned it. He has had their number in Fort Worth. I think this is a tad high. And I think it's a tad high because TCU is also on the bye week. They lost to Texas. They've had a week to stew over it. I like TCU to keep this thing close. I kind of think this is that Iowa State fucking just grind it out, 55, 54, some shit. I'm going to take the points with TCU. I don't think Iowa State is the best matchup for them personally, just because they do a good job of keeping them out of transition. But you give me 7 points with TCU. They want to get right. It's a revenge angle. Low-scoring game. I'll take the points with the Horned Frogs here.
I kind of like the bye week angle of this one. I think because if you think the line is a little bit high, I think you could give TCU, the 2 or 4 more points just from not being as fatigued. But I don't know if you want to go outright on the Horned Frogs here. They kind of seem like maybe the bye week came at a really good time for them, because they kind of seemed like they were slipping back into the middle of the pack where we really do think they belong, I would say. But the 7 is just too much for me to lay, even though it's in Ames. I think maybe Iowa State gets this one done by 5. So I'll go ahead and take that. But if for some reason it gets bet all the way down, I will do the double trouble and lay, TCU plus 4.5 as well.
Double trouble.
Yeah, the 7's way too high. I couldn't agree with you guys more. Hopefully TCU finds a way to win this game, since they play West Virginia on Big Monday, but we'll talk about that when that happens. Obviously TCU's coming off the Texas loss, had the bye week. 7's a lot of point. I know it's Hilton. I know Iowa State, they're obviously their track record there. I mean, well, I guess any team, being a home team, but especially Iowa State. But Iowa State got that big win against Texas too. And we thought they were, capable of at least covering that spread or winning that game, but I don't think we thought it was going to happen the way it happened. So I'm going to go TCU as well. And because I'm on the road, Mr. Kennedy, he took a bye week. His groins are hurting a little bit, resting him up. So I'm using the Google artificial coin flip thing. So we'll see how that record goes. I guess that's the difference between like having sex and pornography, right?
This
like
is bullshit.
Sex, flip a coin,
if the Google random coin goes like 7-0, then we know that everything is fucking rigged.
What do we got?
You're not wrong. It's on Iowa State. So, hey, maybe it's the thing that keeps us good with not going 4 in a row.
Yeah, I mean, what do you guys think of this line compared to? I mean, they played 3 weeks ago, and the line was 4.5. You're telling me 11.5 points swing? That seems a little bit of overreaction to Iowa State's recent streak. Do you agree?
Yeah, and I think the Texas win might have been like if they had to grind it out a little bit closer, I wouldn't really hate the 7 as much. But the fact that it was kind of a fat and happy win against a desperate team that gets a whole week to prepare for a game, I really do think that it's more 4.5 would have been what I was expecting to see. So to see a 7 and get 2.5 free points, I don't think you can pass up on that.
They're going to win by 10 now. We're going to be like, well, it was a trap line.
Well, I do have the K-State game in the back of my mind where that was a 7-point line, and they should not have covered that. That was
a pretty good point from Tyler, though, is they do score when they're at home.
They do, but they're also due for a home dud. They have kind of under Otzelberger. February has been the month where they've regressed a little bit in Hilton. January they've been fucking unreal. So I think this is a game that comes right down the wire. I think TCU has a chance to win. So we'll take the Frogs with the extended rest. Another team that's got the extended rest is the Mountaineers. They are going to Austin. The Texas Longhorns are laying 12.5. West Virginia won the first meeting, in case anybody forgot. Chad G.
Any revenge angle here?
Texas
coming off of kind of a getting kicked in the mouth loss.
Texas doesn't blow anybody out, though. Every game's fucking close. Every game comes down the wire, and they're the classic play up to your competition, play down to your competition. Give me the Mountaineers. Shocker. I mean, I'm not laying 12.5 with Texas. They fuck around and play with their food in these games. Unfortunately, Texas probably will win because they need to win, but I can see this game coming right down the wire, and Texas makes enough plays just to get in the win column. Texas can't lose this game for their at-large resume. Mountaineers on the extended rest here, coming off the bye week. Yeah, I'll take the ears. Troy.
Well, we got Chad G on West Virginia plus 13, so you're in there. He's gonna move it. The CFO and the CEO are about to jump in there and drop 20 G's a pop on West Virginia with the plus.
Oh, fuck me.
I'm going revenge angle here. I know it's probably not likely to happen, but West Virginia on the road is a no bet scenario for me. So I will lay the 12.5 for no other reason than that, even though I don't think that it's a smart bet. And I probably won't be laying more than, like a quarter or a half of a unit on this, if that. So again, this could be a really weird game. West Virginia could win this one outright. Like, I wouldn't even hate betting the West Virginia money line along with laying the Texas number. Like,
Texas.
I really don't think Texas is going to blow anybody out, but you two fools are going to take West Virginia. So miss me with that bullshit.
I appreciate you evening it out for us.
Yeah, I can't leave it up to Kennedy. I can't leave it up to digital Kennedy.
What are you doing, Rush?
Well, I've seen this script a million times. I really wish Iowa State would have beaten Texas. We don't do well in Austin. We got the Texas two-step. I think we do really well against TCU and possibly win the game, but I'm actually laying the points with Texas here.
Ooh.
I hate this game. I just see it. I just see it on the schedule. It makes me sick inside because I feel like I just know what's going to happen. More than happy to be wrong. More than happy to do what the team did when you were a part of it, Ryan, and Deuce McBride. They were down 19, and then came back and won. But that's what it felt like it kind of took to beat Texas in Austin. Is you got to have a Deuce McBride and come back from down 19 points as well. It's been a tough place for us to play. So hate Texas. More than happy to be wrong, of course. Man, I feel like I've seen this. I got to be non-biased here. So we'll see what Artificial Kennedy has to say. He is on Texas as well.
Yeah, Max on West Virginia Island. I don't know if I can let him do that either. I need to Benedict myself and go back.
Give me the money line.
I need to Benedict
Works
myself.
for me. I'm all for it.
I need to Benedict myself
Give me the
here.
money line. Come on, chat. You guys should all go on Texas. I'll be the foxhole. Get this fucking Texas shit out of here. Horns fucking down.
I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna pick them as my dog, even though I said I'm laying it with Texas.
Talk about a Benedict move right there.
We're winning one of these, bitch.
I do. I mean, I don't hate your angle. If you think Texas is going to play with their food, take the West Virginia money line. That's going to be fucking juicy as hell.
I really wouldn't. I don't think I would lay it with Texas here in anything more than 8.5. Like if you wanted to go that angle, but the 12 is rough. I thought you two were both going to be on the fucking Mountaineers. You really fucked me there, Rush.
Stay over there, Troy. Stay over there. Stay over there.
I'm crossing the line. I'm getting close to the line.
Lonely. No, we're moving on. You can't
jump over the fence. I'm going to pull a Rio Grande River, jump over the fence, swim across, swim back across. No, we're going back to Mexico. Sorry.
Let's talk about some Super Bowl props contest. $1,000 winner take all, free to enter. Pick 58 props in for Super Bowl 58. Enter today, sportsmovie.podcast.com/SB58 or the link in the SGPN App Store. We're also brought to you by Cut. Cut is a peer-to-peer betting platform that's U.S.-based and available in 40 states. If you want to take the Texas Longhorns, get over there and lose your money over there at Cut. Our partners at Cut are giving away $5,000 to the user who refers the most depositors by the end of the Super Bowl weekend. So get over there, get a head start. It's already Friday, Super Bowl weekend. All you have to do is invite your friends to sign up for Cut via the invite friend button on your dashboard and have them deposit before Monday. The user with the most depositor referrals will get $5,000 insight credit automatically added to their account next week. Shit, get over there, win me some $5,000. Let's go Cut, baby. We're also brought to you by Game Time. If you want to get over there to VCU dating game tonight, Game Time has you covered. Best prices, last minute guaranteed, man. I did it earlier this week. Looked at the Richmond and UMass game. They're the best, man. And you can snag those tickets without stress with the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app, create an account, code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CFBX for $20 off. Download the Game Time app. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All righty. This is a game I'm looking for. Former American Athletic Conference matchup. The Houston Cougars are going to the Natty. The Natty had a bye week. So the Natty got it done at Texas Tech. Got healthy this week. Houston coming off the Oklahoma State Kelvin Sampson ejection. I don't know how many more times I got to say it. I don't trust Houston on the road. They don't make shots at the same clip that they do in that home building when they hit the road. Cincinnati is desperate for a resume win to get them off the bubble. They're in the play-in game right now, according to the bracketology guys. I think this is just a fucking football, old school Big East-like matchup where they just beat the shit out of each other. Both teams guarding their asses off. I think this game's in the 50s. So with that said, I'm definitely going to be on the points, and I think Cincy might win it outright. I really am starting to buy into Cincy. With the extended rest, kind of a theme here with my first two picks. Give me the team off the bye week in February, taking on Houston in what is kind of like the Cincinnati Super Bowl now in the Big 12. And
it seems like a couple of these lines are starting to reflect the fact that Houston's shooting percentage doesn't really travel. Mm-hmm. Like if this was 2 or 3 weeks ago, I bet you we'd see like an 8.5 or a 7.5 in Houston's favor, and Cincy would cover it, and everyone would be like, "What's wrong with Houston? What's wrong with Houston?" Well, what's wrong with Houston is that they're a defense-first team, and they're playing a team that is kind of the same way. Like we understand that Cincinnati's game travels well on the road because of how they play. I guess you could say kind of the same about Houston, but the fact that it's going to be a rock fight, and we've seen Cincy come out on the top of a few of these fucking grinded out games. I'm taking the plus. I'm taking the 5.5. We're Skyline chiliing it up. They got a whole week to put down the fucking 5 ways on top of that pasta and get all carb loaded up for this game.
Yep.
Skyline chili all the way, baby. One of these days, someone's going to have to send me one of the cans of Skyline chili, and I'll just eat it with a spoon on the stream, just right out of that motherfucker.
Where you
I think
go,
you can
Rod?
get them at the Kroger in Morgantown. This Cincinnati team, I mean, you guys have said it. They play everyone close. I mean, even them on the road, it's like take them, the points with Cincinnati. I mean, I think when the Cincinnati team kind of being on the bubble, and when you look back at them making March Madness, you pinpoint this game, and you're like, this is one of the couple games why they made it to March Madness. A little preview for later. Woof, woof.
Yeah. No, I like it. And you look at Cincy's loss in the Big 12. You guys talked about it. Lost to Texas by 1, Baylor by 3, Oklahoma by 4, Kansas at the PHOG by 5, and then in Morgantown by 4. Every loss is 5 or less. So continue the trend. We're all in the
our favor, baby.
Good thing we got
right here on the opening Friday. You get the hook in your favor. By tomorrow, it'll be 4.5, and you might get screwed.
Yeah. Yep. What'd you say Kennedy's doing?
Artificial Kennedy's on Houston.
He's in that chalk.
Even the AI Kennedy knows that he still wants to continue to visit and give love to Texas, even though, he might get Lee Harvey Oswalded or dude on the grassy knoll. He just keeps wanting to go back to these Texas schools. So I don't know if we can trust Kennedy.
So this AEI Kennedy is actually it's a woman. So DEI.
Oh, so it's a modern Kennedy.
It's a modern Kennedy, right? It's a chick with a dick.
The damn woman's going
Chicks
down.
with dick. One of them hermaphrodites.
All right, fourth game on the slate out of 7. This another interesting one. UCF is headed to Lubbock. Lubbock is scene of the crime for a team that's lost now 3 in a row after starting 5-4. They do have Kansas on deck on Big Monday. That is a little bit of a concern, but why is this number so high?
Yeah,
I think they're fucking
Stinky.
telling Texas Tech double-digit win. I don't trust UCF as much away from the bounce house.
And I was gonna say over at DK right now it's 7.5. So if you want that extra hook in your favor, and you're gonna lay Texas Tech, maybe the 7.5 is the safer route. I mean, obviously it's a half a point better, but I don't know. This one stinks so much that it might be right on at 8.
I'm going to go Texas Tech wins by 10. I'm going to lay it with the Red Raiders. They need to right the ship here. I think they come out locked in. UCF, you look at outside the Texas game, they've lost every road game by double digits. So give me the Red Raiders here. They pull away late, kind of like Cincinnati did against UCF a couple weeks ago. So I'll lay it with the Red Raiders.
I'm probably gonna lay it here with the Red Raiders as well. The Lubbock angle and the desperation angle against a team that hasn't really shown that they're super awesome on the road all the time. Now we know UCF can really compete. Like we understand that they're a way better basketball team than we expected just 3-4 weeks ago. But I don't know if they're gonna go out there to weirdo West Texas, and I just don't think that they're going to really show up. I kind of like the double-digit angle as well. Take the 2 extra points of juice in the alt line, but that's only if you really think Texas Tech is going to win. And I've been so off on this UCF team that I'm actually going to take the +8 instead of lay it with the Red Raiders. I think that they're fitting right into the Big 12 in some of these road games where they don't necessarily get a win, but they kind of keep it close.
Every point you made, Ryan, I agree with you. But there's something about it. Maybe this line. I hate this line. I hate it.
Sucks.
Yes, it is the worst line. My initial reaction, my initial gut feeling was UCF +8, and that's the best analysis I can give you on this. I hate this line, but I'm taking UCF on it. I'll take the points.
All right.
We'll see what Mrs. Kennedy has to say about it. Kennedy is on tails, so that will be Texas Tech.
Red Raiders. All right. Me and Miss Kennedy doing the dance in Lubbock. I'll tell you another place you can do a little bit of dancing. That's over at Hall of Fame Bets, because you can win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting analytic platform for parlays, props, game lines. Stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame Bets who craft a more intelligent, data-driven parlay. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. Game of the day I think Game Day's here.
Is
Game Day in Lawrence?
It makes sense.
College Game Day. Chad, help me out. I think they're in Lawrence. Yep, they are in Lawrence. They're in Lawrence for the Jayhawks and the Baylor Bears. Jayhawks are laying 6.5. So, obviously, these two have been the class of the Big 12 over the last 3-4 years. Each has a national championship. I'm going to go Baylor. I think I usually like taking the road team when game day's there and it's a late tip. A lot of distraction throughout the day. I don't think Kansas is the same team. Like last week was just disrespectful, putting them as a dog. I kind of think Baylor's going to be right there. They've won in the PHOG before in the past. I don't think they're going to win in the PHOG again, especially on game day. This is a zigzag back and forth game. Baylor, I think they might be better than Kansas in a way, but Kansas at the PHOG is going to be undefeated. They're going to find a way to win the game. So I'm hoping Baylor goes up like they did last year. Right? They were up 15, and then I live bet Kansas. But with 6.5, I'm going to take Baylor. I'm going to take Baylor to lose by 3 or 4. Kansas had their Super Bowl last week. Kansas they're coming off an overtime game. Teams off overtime games have not been as good. Baylor playing better. Give me the Bears to make some shots in the PHOG tomorrow and lose by 4.
I don't think that this is one you can money line. I don't think that Kansas is going to lose outright in the PHOG here to Baylor. And I do really understand the 3 to 4 point line, but does that factor in the PHOG refs? Because I think you can factor in 2 points for the PHOG refs, and I think you can factor in 2 to 3 more points just for the experience difference between Kansas's starting 5 and anything that Baylor can put out there. I know Langston Love got banged up too, and I haven't really seen too much news on him. But if he's not available and it's either just Ray J. Dennis or they're depending on a freshman and Jacoby Walter that makes some really bonehead mistakes that could really cost you Baylor covering this game. I'm laying it with Kansas. The PHOG just lost to their in-state rival. This one might be an alternate line. This might be a smash for Kansas, believe it or not.
This is the easiest bet. This is Kansas minus 6.5. They're going to win by 10 or more. Obviously, they got the Houston win, but then turned right around, lost to Kansas State. It's Bill Self needed that motivation to get these guys going again. They win these types of games easily. Kansas minus 6.5. And let's see what Mrs. Kennedy is on Kansas as well.
There
you go, Ryan, in the foxhole.
Baylor Bears. Let's go, Scott Drew.
Damn, I don't think Mac's ever been in the Baylor foxhole alone. He saw the Baylor shirt that the kids put on the TCU Gary Patterson statue because Baylor just hired him for their football team as like some special senior assistant or something. Baylor could, they're
gonna hang in there. They're gonna hang.
They could. I just think that they make too many mistakes late. And the fact that even when they were playing at home in that bullshit Iowa State game that they went so cold from the free throw line when things got, tense, doing that in the PHOG again, man, I don't know. It could come out looking the same way. Like down the stretch, they go, 2 for 6 from the free throw line and lose the game by 7 points when it should have been a 3-point game or something like that. I just don't know. They're just a tough team to trust right now. When they're playing really well, they're probably the best team in the Big 12. But as soon as they take like a quarter of a step back from that, they're only the third best team in the conference. So I don't know. Baylor's just hard to trust.
Fade the game day distractions, baby. Let's go. This is a game right here. Cowboys going to Norman. The Sooners are laying 11.5. Get the fuck out of here. Oklahoma State, they fucking won all 3 last year. Mike Boyden has owned Porter Moser. I know Moser's got a better team, but I'm not fucking laying 11.5 with the Sooner team. Not a chance. Oklahoma State's live in this game to spoil the party. Give me the Cowboys.
Think they're really live to win this on the money line?
Yeah, this game's personal. Oklahoma, this is the final game in Norman now. They're gonna be ready to go.
I'm going to lay it. I don't think Oklahoma State's good enough. And just that BYU game from Oklahoma showed you when they actually concentrate, they can be a pretty dang good basketball team. And this is not a game that's going to be overlooked by either team 100% in the basketball bedlam. But I think, I don't know. It's hard for an in-state rivalry game for it to be 11.5 is a fuck ton. So you know what? Maybe I'll take the points with the Cowboys. Yeah,
you just took my argument, Troy, convincing yourself there. In-state rivalry, bedlam on the basketball court.
Plus, on Saturday night when we do the recap show, I want to be blasted with my Oklahoma State shirt on again. That seems to be the viewers like it. The viewers like it.
The winning formula there. So, yeah, I'm on OK State plus 11.5. And Mrs. Kennedy's on. What does Jackie have to say? Jackie is on OK State as well.
4 in a row. Fading the Sooners. The Sooners are kind of like Oklahoma or Texas. You can't take them as a big favorite. They're a
No.
team you want to stay away from as a big favorite. They may lose this game. I'm telling you. What's the money line for fucking the Cowboys? Let's go. This fucking shit out of here. All righty.
We're going to try to pair them again, try to pair the Cowboys and the Mountaineers again on the big lines.
Fade the fucking Longhorns and the fucking Sooners. You don't have to talk me, twist my arm to fucking fade this. All right, 10 o'clock window here. K-State's going to BYU. BYU's like 10.5. Oh, Jesus criminy. BYU hasn't played at home in a while.
No, they haven't.
Is this line fucking baiting us to take K-State? Is BYU about to fucking rail their ass?
Good.
BYU's actually a team I don't mind laying the points with. I know they ate shit for us a couple times, but they've also come through. I mean, obviously in Morgantown, Texas at home, Iowa State at home. I think K-State's going to get drilled. I kind of think BYU's going to fuck them up. I think give me BYU. I'll lay it with BYU, the Cougars. They're off the Kansas overtime win.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that the game in Provo might have a lot after an overtime win, fat and happy, playing a little bit extra, and then having to go on the road to the elevation. But the real angle on this game is, what is the one thing that you can't get a lot of if you're a Mormon? Poontang. So no Tang in Provo. No Tang in Provo.
Oh man.
If it was 9.5, it would have been on K-State. This is the fucking bait.
I hate this hook though. I know you brought up the overtime, but I mean that was on Monday. I mean BYU then played a day later, so I feel like the rest advantage is still with Kansas State. The hook is what gets me here. 10 or less would have gone BYU. It's the hook. I think it's like exactly 10. I'm going Kansas State here.
I guess Elliot makes a pretty good point. They might not know what to do with the Tang. Like, it might shock them so much seeing Tang out in front of everybody in public, just wide open, could really fuck with their brains.
Mrs. Kennedy's on BYU minus 10.5.
Rush is fading BYU and West Virginia. I know.
Well, you can't say I'm biased.
Bank account must be getting low.
He's going to be really kicking himself when they both
doing just fine.
All right, let's go to the lock, dog, and we'll give out a money line round robin lock. I really didn't have one. I do have one. I'm going to lock up the Bearcats. Give me another rock fight in what is it? 503? No. What's Cincinnati's zip code? Is it 513 or 503? Chat. Anyway, Skyline Chili, Old American game. Give me the Bearcats here to keep this puppy close and have a chance to win it outright.
I'm gonna lock Kansas. Kansas at the PHOG, less than 10 points. Locking them. Don't even care who they're playing. They could be playing UConn. Locking them.
I feel better about Baylor now because your
my locks are not great.
Kansas is terrible.
Well, that's the reason why my locks aren't great is because I've lost like 3 or 4 Kansas locks already.
I know, that's what I mean. You've been good except for Kansas games.
Well, unfortunately, I got to join you, Troy. So we got to get a little bit out of our lock record. I'm going to Kansas as well.
You guys are going against the rock chalk guru.
I know what Troy's trying to do, though. He's fine sacrificing his Kansas picks and stuff for the Baylor win. He's trying to jinx himself out in the open. I know what Troy's doing. Yeah, that's what he's doing.
I got to go back and dive into my Kansas record so far. I feel like I've missed maybe 1 or 2 games on them. I fucking have that program down to a fucking T. Dog. Do I go Oklahoma State?
They're really good in Norman.
They are good in Norman. Have they won 3 in a row in Norman? I think they kind of just fucking own their ass.
Max just too pussy to lock and dog the same team.
No, I like.
I thought we said we're not doing that anymore.
I like to diversify the portfolio. as they say.
You can't do walk dog unless you double dog.
So they won all 3 last year. The year before that in Norman, they lost in overtime. I remember that game. The year before that, Oklahoma State won in Norman. In 2020, I believe they won in Norman as well. No, they lost a tight one. Give me Oklahoma State. I'm pulling the trigger. Fucking Bedlam. Final time on the hardwood. Get this fucking Sooner shit out of here. They got their get up spot against fucking BYU. Give me the Cowboys. Guns up, baby.
I'm dogging Cincinnati. Skyline Chili outright dog.
Oh, shit, Troy, we're together, man.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, perfect. You should maybe take that ring off. I might have something else for you, Ryan. Or Rush. I got the it says I'm the meat smoker, so you can take that however you want.
No, I feel good about Cincinnati. I actually really like that pick. They've been good to me. I'm gonna keep riding them. Cincinnati, dog.
So Cincinnati and Oklahoma State are in the round robin. Our third
TCU.
Do we go WU or TCU?
I mean, WU can lick my balls on the road. But if you wanted to put WU in there at plus 12.5, maybe like do two money line dogs and then WU at plus 12.5. But I would think
Rush really hates West Virginia. We should go TCU.
I would think you should go TCU.
I hate that. I don't want to hate it. I really don't. I just do. What do we have? Cincy, OK State, TCU.
Yeah, Cincy, OK State, TCU.
I actually like that.
One. I think TCU is gonna have a chance to win.
Again, I think you double it up though. I think you take the spreads as a three-way parlay, and then you take the money line as a separate three-way parlay.
Agreed. And here I can queue up this puppy right now to see what it is for the money line round robin.
Oh, shit, we got the Weehawk here. What's up, Wee? Need a bottle of whiskey.
TCU plus 235. We got Cincinnati as a home dog at plus 185. And
that's a good straight up bet.
Almost
2-1 on Cincinnati at home. That's a good straight up bet.
Yeah. We also got Cowboys plus 470. Woo, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. Guns up, baby.
What's the
good question. I plugged them all. Sorry, I'm doing it on an app because it's only available over at FanDuel right now. FanDuel's the only one that releases their money lines early. DraftKings, I think, comes out later this evening. If you parlay all 3 of those, that puppy is gonna be a 53-1 banger. 53-1 banger. Banger, tanger. All righty, guys. Good show. We're back Saturday night, the Big 12 at 12, but we're also here tonight. You guys know what it's going to be. We're previewing 153 games because this stupid-ass sport decided, hey, let's put 3 games on Friday and then put 150 plus on Saturday. You fucking idiots. God. This is all right. I'm at Moneyline_Mac. Rush is at Rambling Rush. Troy is at Troy Chewning. Troy, any final thoughts, you and Tibbles?
Yeah, Tibbles says hello to everybody. Say hi, Tibby. He obviously wants to go outside, so he's been whining over here.
Let me go to the bathroom, motherfucker.
For real. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter if you want to see the pork shoulder and the brisket flat that I'm going to be doing for the Super Bowl. Probably going to have to pull an all-nighter after the Saturday night show and just get right to, burning the fire and getting after it. So
yeah,
hopefully we're up a few units. If we're not, we can always look forward to, nice smoked meat. There's always a consolation prize.
There always is. Rush, what you got going on? I know you're hitting the road this weekend.
At Rambling Rush, hitting the road this weekend. Seeing some good friends of mine. It's going to be a great weekend ahead. Getting ready for Super Bowl party myself. Let's go Niners, even though I think the Chiefs are going to win. But go Niners. And, you all know where to find me, at Rambling Rush, Twitter, Instagram.
Yes, sir. And you guys you'll find me. I'll be at the Siegel Center here in about a couple hours. And then tomorrow night, I got a surprise party for my significant other fiance. So Yeah, I'll be feeling good tomorrow night.
Well, that's cool. You know, she doesn't listen.
Hey, listen to my fucking drunk ass. You guys can find me at moneyline_back. I'll see you guys in a couple hours, and we are out of here. Horns motherfucking down.